Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I do that just to remind you of what day of the week it is because it's all a little bit of a blur. But today we're going to talk about payoff matrices. They're one of my favorite things to do. I hope that that's what you guys end up with for a free response question. They're the best. Kind of fun to do, strangely. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say about economics or a free response question, but it really is true. Anytime in the past that we've gotten to have one on the AP exam, the kids usually come back doing a celebratory dance. So, and I actually think it was last year, which usually is like, that might mean that it's not going to be this year, but I don't know. I'm always trying to be hopeful, especially with all the changes that they're going to be making with this exam this year. So I'm hopeful for you guys. So what you guys are going to see, I'm going to introduce you to it. We'll do a couple of them. And then I'm just going to spend a couple of days just like us practicing that matrix. And I'm saying a couple, maybe 2 days, just doing a couple free response questions where you guys can actually like see it in action. Because like I said, it's awesome if that were to be what you guys get as a free response question. All right, so now you guys should have watched the Edpuzzle, even though I know that there were some glitches. Some people were saying that the video wasn't playing because the word game was in it. It was being censored for the word game. I don't know if that's a scandalous word, all of us. I have no idea. If like it had any other word, I'm not going to start saying scandalous words, by the way. Good try. I feel like I'd have somebody being like, give me an example of a scandalous word. And I'd be like, thank you for trying to. But I think you guys get the point. And then some people were saying that, Edpuzzle was just like delayed and acting wonky. So whatever be the reason, if you didn't watch it, then I'm going to be teaching this to you for the first time. But if it is not, it should just be a review. Hopefully this is some smooth sailing. When you're first introduced to game theory, you have to talk about the prisoner's dilemma. So this is the idea that, and again, we'll make it try to be relevant for you, that you and your best friend get caught for doing some kind of crime. You and your partner in crime, aka your BFF, get caught, and they bring you into 2 separate rooms to interrogate you. So you have a couple of different options. So again, you know that what you guys went in to do is you both said we're going to deny. That's what you guys both agreed that you were going to do. You have a secret handshake. You promised that you guys would deny. But if you confess, and they tell you this, if you confess, you could go free, and then your counterpart would get 20 years. So you're made privy to this. You're made aware that this is the scenario. But if you both cheat on each other, you both confess, you both break that bond, you're both going to jail for 10 years. So let's just go back again. So again, the most ideal for both of you would be to deny. Both of you deny, you end up with 5 years. That's the best case for, again, both of you, where both of you will somewhat benefit. I mean, you're going to jail, but only for 5 years. Then, again, you are given an incentive to essentially cheat. Because if you go and confess, you get off free, but your BFF is there for 20 years. Whereas if your counterpart cheats, they get to go free, but then you get 20 years. So you do have an incentive to cheat, but you have to really hope that your partner isn't also going to cheat. So again, yes, you might get off free, but you also might end up with 10 years if you both cheat on that collusion agreement. All right, this is your collusion agreement. This is what you would do, or what you said you would do, to benefit both. But a lot of times, because of this incentive, both people end up confessing, and then you guys spend even longer in jail. If I had you in class, I would, of course, break you guys up into different groups, and I would have you doing this with a partner, and we'd do a couple of rounds of this and see who would cheat and who would actually be a loyal partner in crime. Okay, so now let's say, and we can go back to the ice cream example, that you and another person, and again, you'll be firm 1, the other person will be firm 2, are 2 competing firms. Now, we have to assume that this is an oligopoly because your choices are mutually interdependent. Your best move is based on the move that another person might make. So what we're going to do, and you guys are going to see Mr. Clifford is going to do this eventually with you guys too, is you guys are going to go and box out, and again, this would be the case for both, but you'll box out what your potential outcomes are. All right? So again, you know that if you go high, all right, that's you, this is you going high, that you can either make 20 or you can make 0. And that if you go low, that you can either make 30 or you could make 10. Now, firm 2 could either go high and make 20, or they could go high and make 0, or they could go low and make 30, or they could make 10. If you collude and you work together, you could potentially earn $20 each. Sounds pretty great, except you have an incentive to cheat on this collusion agreement. Instead of making 20, you could potentially make 30 by going low, even though you promised the other firm that you would also go high, assuming that they were going to go high. But you might go and decide to not cooperate. Even though you say you're going to go high, when the day comes to issue pricing, you go low, firm 2 makes nothing, and then you make 30. But here's the problem with that. Firm 2 might also have the same idea because they stand to make $30 too. So if you guys both go and cheat, you both end up losing. You both only end up making $10, where if you guys just would have colluded and stuck with it and stayed loyal, you would have made 20. So cheating, or especially when both people cheat, ends up hurting both firms. So now I'm going to encourage you to always do this, especially because a lot of the times when you guys go and get your questions, your matrices, that they are going to be in black and white. So I'm always going to, again, box out what I know my outcomes are going to be for one of the firms. You don't need to do it for both, just so that you guys know that firm 1's payoffs are going to be boxed out in blue. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of a comparison, all right, to try to figure out what we should do based on what the other firm would do. All right, so I'm going to draw in some of these arrows. You're going to see I'm going to do these a lot, and I'm calling them arrows, but I guess lines. All right, would you rather have $100 or $50? And I'm hoping, again, that you guys would want $100. Would you rather have $60 or $20? And again, you're going to say 60, I hope. So what I want you guys to notice that on the high, we starred two numbers that were, again, I don't know, how do I even say this, horizontally for high, that there are 2 stars there, meaning that this is what we're going to call their dominant strategy. That's the best move to make no matter what firm 2 does. Either way, I'm going to make more money if I go high, because if I go low, I'd only make 50 or 20. So no matter what, I would be better off going high. All right. So again, firm 1 has a dominant strategy of going high. So now let's go and do firm 2. I'm going to switch to red to do firm 2. And then would we rather have 50 or 90? And the answer is 90. And then would we rather have 40 or 10? And then the answer is going to be 40, which means that since they don't have, now we're talking about vertically, there's no double stars. If there was a star right here, or if there was a star right there, all right, then we would say, oh, they've got a dominant strategy. But firm 2 has no dominant strategy. their next best decision is based on what firm 1 would do, and we know that firm 1 is going to go high. We know that. This is the dominant strategy. They're going to go high. So how do I go about maxing out what would actually happen if they knew this information? Is firm 2 would go low because they know that firm 1 is going to go high. So going back to that example, and again, I'm just going to box out just in case you missed it from last time. So again, firm 1 is what we're boxing out, the outcomes that could potentially be paid off. And I want you guys to do this in good practice for your stars. It's going to be super important. So again, would we rather have 100 or 50? We'd rather 100. Would we rather have 60 or 20? And we'd rather have 60. Again, we knew that that high was going to be the dominant strategy. They're going to go high no matter what firm 2 does. So now let's go and look at firm 2. Firm 2, would you rather have 50 or 90? And we said that you'd rather have 90. Or would you rather have 40 or 10? And then we said that we'd rather have 40. So notice which box has the double stars. So not just 2, now we're talking about the ideal combination is going to be for firm 1 to go high and firm 2 to go low. This is what we call the Nash equilibrium, when you end up with these 2 stars in the same box. This is the optimal outcome that will occur when both firms make decisions simultaneously and there is no incentive to change. There's no potential better outcome for both of them. So again, since firm 1 will always go high, firm 2 will decide to go low. I'm going to keep saying this again because this is the verbiage that they're going to ask you guys to go and use. But again, firm 2's best decision is based on what firm 1 would do because they have a dominant strategy. And their dominant strategy in this case is to go high. So that's why firm 2's best chance to gain profits is to go low so they can capitalize on that. All right, what's the first thing you're going to do? And I'm hoping you guys all know your answer is to box out. So let's box. Let's box, box, box. All right, so that's the first thing that I always want you guys doing. It sounds crazy, but it's so important. All right, and then I almost want you to make these like coffee handle, I don't know, kind of looks like you're drinking weird cups of coffee. So just saying. All right, 90 or 80, which one would you rather have? And you know that you would rather have the 90, 50 or 70, and then you know you'd rather have that. So just by looking at this, again, you go horizontally across. Are there double stars so that we know whether we should go high or low? No, there are no double stars. So we know that that there's no dominant strategy for firm 1. So now let's go and do firm 2. So now again, we're going to go and bring it over like a rainbow. All right, would we rather have 40 or 60? We'd rather have 60. Would we rather have 70 or 80? So we'll star that out. So again, now vertically, there are the 2 stars. So we know that firm 2 has a dominant strategy to go low. That's what they are going to do no matter what firm 1 does. They're always going to go low because that's how they're going to maximize profits. No matter what, going low is going to be more beneficial for them. So that is, again, their dominant strategy. So now, how do I find what's actually going to happen? What would firm 1 end up doing? And we said that firm 1 is going to end up doing what the best outcome is going to be, knowing firm 2's strategy. So if firm 2 is definitely going to go low, those are our options. If firm 2 is going to go low, we know that firm 1 would rather have $70. Notice again where my 2 stars are and what we called that. This right here would be our Nash equilibrium. All right, so that's going to be the most important thing to understand when we're doing these types of things. How you get to your Nash equilibrium. Again, notice, your 2 stars that were in the same box. That's your Nash equilibrium. So again, firm 1 is going to go low because they know that firm 2's dominant strategy is to go low, and they're going to capitalize on that. Now, since I couldn't be in the classroom with you getting to simulate this with you guys, I found a website that has a game that you guys can essentially do this type of stuff with. So it's, game theory type practice. So what I've done is I created usernames for you with your names. It's on an Excel spreadsheet. So there's a period 4 and a period 6. So what I'm asking you, because you do need a partner to do it with, to actually like make the simulation work. You don't all need to be on at the same time, but if you could try to partner up with somebody, David and Jeremy, like go at this time, and Anthony and Sujay, like just like coordinate with each other and try to do it. And that's essentially going to be like your activity for the day. If anyone has difficulty with it, like send me a picture of a matrix, and I'll be like something that you did here, showing me boxes and your little either rainbows or your cups of coffee. I don't know. But I tried creating this like little simulation, and I'm able to see your results after, which is kind of cool. But it's supposed to, like, it was high rated. I can't physically do it with you guys, and it would be, I think, a little hard to do via Zoom. I think, even though, who knows, maybe on Friday we could like try to Zoom prisoner dilemma, and we could like hold up boards or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'd be into it if any of you have any ideas. But like I said, I created this assignment, so it's going to seem a little strange. You have a username. Your password is pass. So it should be relatively user-friendly. I don't know. I've never used it before. I'm trying new things. I'm trying to like bring this to life for you. And then I guess also if you guys can just, maybe send out some questions that you guys might have. Like I said, for the next 2 days. So for Wednesday and Thursday, we're just going to do a practice free response questions and things like that. I'm hoping to get more information on Friday about this AP exam, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more guidance of how to steer us. Because it's really just monopolistic competition, which is relatively short. And then it's like one more like little baby unit about the factor markets, and I mean that's really it. That's really all they're saying is going to be on it, which I could keep doing more. It gives me something to do, but that's all I got for today. So hopefully between today, your Ed puzzle last night, hopefully playing this like weird little game, things are starting to come to life a little bit for you. But like I said, it should be kind of fun. It's kind of cool thinking about this pricing strategy and kind of like undercutting people. It seems I probably should have had like a weapon in my hand when I did that. I don't know. All right. I guess, thoughts, feedback, keep me posted. All right. Have a good day. Bye.